Getting ready for church one Sunday, John Gerber was overwhelmed by the traffic going past his home on Windsor Road Vineyard to watch the Bridge to Bridge water skiing classic. He questioned, why are there no churches between Parramatta and Windsor for all these people to go to? At this time, John and Mary Lou were hosting a home group out of Hills Christian Life Centre, now Hillsong. John Gerber approached Pastor Brian Houston about starting an extension service at Vineyard. Pastor Brian gave the go-ahead as the church was looking to impact the Hawkesbury. A portable building was sourced from a mining company that was located on the opposite side of Windsor Road. The asking price was $20,000, but after negotiations with the company's head office in America, the price was reduced to $10,000, which David Borton generously donated. Hills Christian Life Centre sent out Pastor Mike Smith in March 1986 to oversee the church. The church enjoyed preachers like Pastor Brian Houston, Pastor Michael Murphy, along with Pastor Jeff Bullock and Pastor Lucy Fisher, who would come and lead the congregation in praise and worship. Upon receiving his credentials, Pastor John Gerber became the official senior pastor in July 1986. Church was held in the demountable hall, which is now the Sunbeams and Playgroup Hall. At the time, there were 23 church members. Vineyard Church continued to grow, and it was time to build a new auditorium. The church board chose to seek the financial support of the congregation, and with this, building work commenced. The building was debt-free upon completion. Bricks came from a house being demolished by Defence Housing. External doors were purchased from a pub that was being updated. Plumbing works were donated by a local plumber who was overwhelmed by the generosity of the church. In 1989, the first auditorium was completed, and at this time there was 80 church members. The church continued to grow, and in 1992, 4 new Sunday school rooms were built. These are now our existing offices outside the main auditorium. At this time there was 100 church members. In 1994, Pastor John Gerber saw that everything was now in place for the church to continue to grow, and it was time to move on. Shortly after this, Pastor John and Mary Lou headed to Morocco as missionaries for 8 years before returning home to Australia in 2007. In 1995, John and Kat Canome became the new senior pastors. This came after John working many years as an itinerant preacher and serving under Pastor Ian and Joan Wood's leadership at Hawkesbury Church. John and Kat spent many of their early years here at Vineyard building the team and ministries that you see here today. The church continued to grow, and in 2001, the Kids Church Hall was built. At this time, there was 150 church members. Kids Church has always been a huge part of Vineyard and has been consistently growing over the years. Now, at least a third of the church is under the age of 18. In 1999, Vineyard started its first extension service, with John and Veronica McGuinness as senior pastors of the church at Bilpin. John and Veronica are still faithfully serving in the Bilpin community with services at 10 a.m. every Sunday and a Royal Rangers program for the community every Monday and Wednesday. In 2006, it was time to build again, and an extension to the existing auditorium was developed. As part of the new extension, the Salt Cafe had now been opened. At this time, the church had now increased to over 300 members. Over the years, the men's and women's ministries have had many fun and memorable life-changing events. The men have participated in men's camps, father-son camps and blokes nights, while the women have hosted retreats, dinners and the most recently Sisterhood Cafe. Sane Youth has seen the age group flourish in God's purpose for their life and continues to see many young people come to know the love of God. From the early 80s up until 2006, church camps have been a huge part of the family culture in our church. Although the church is now too big to hold annual church camps, this culture is still thriving with all our Connect groups having annual Connect camps through the year. The church has hosted many wonderful community events, including Kids Fest, Carols by Candlelight, Cracker Night, and Easter outreaches. Vineyard Church exists for our community, and over the last few years during the month of September, we hold our Love Works. This is where we see groups of church members go out into the local community to provide practical, tangible help. This is love in action. Now, with over 530 members, the plans are now in place to build again. This time we are going to build a brand new 1,000-seat auditorium, complete with tiered seating, a new and larger indoor-outdoor cafe, as well as new facilities including a resource centre, creche and bathrooms. The journey has only just begun.